Okay, Cutter, we just finished reading chapters 4 and 5 of Hatchet, and so now we're going to do our book chats. So you want to roll just one of the dice? And you rolled a 2. You want to read 2 to us?
What are you enjoying about this book? Why do you say that? I have no idea what I'm enjoying about this book.
You have no idea?
There's nothing that you're supposed to be excited. He just crashed. A person died.
Oh, that's true. Okay, well let's think about this from the reader's perspective. You're right. There's nothing to be enjoying because we've got this 13-year-old boy that's crashed a plane in the Canadian wilderness. But what are you thinking about in relation to that? Do you want to know anything?
Is he going to make it out okay?
Is he going to make it out okay? And right now, the way we just left chapter 6, I think, was it chapter 6 we just read?
Yes.
Okay.
No, chapter 5.
Chapter 5. What's wrong with him?
He's alone. He doesn't have, well, any stuff that will be useful.
Yeah, right, because what did he just do with all this stuff?
Just name the stuff that he has and think if they would be useful for something.
Right, he laid them all out on the grass to see if they'd be useful. And what is his body telling him right now? Food. He's very, very hungry. And so, are you curious to know what he's going to do about that? What's he going to do about food?
He could just get his hatchet and kill an animal.
But then what's his other problem that he keeps stating over and over?
He can't make a fire.
Yeah, he can't make a fire because he thinks he needs what?
A match.
He needs matches, yeah. So are you curious to know whether he's going to find food and what he's going to get for food?
No.
You're not curious?
Well, I know what I would do if I was out in that wilderness.
What would you do, Cutter?
If I had a hatchet, I would kill an animal, make a fire with his watch, glass.
Oh, very smart.
And then roast the animal.
And
eat it.
Okay. Well, Brian's not quite thinking that way. Do you think he might start thinking that way? Could. You want me to roll? Ooh, number 3. What is something that surprised you? Explain why it did.
How come he didn't know that he has a hatchet on him after his mom explained why he needed one?
Oh, okay. So that surprised you. I'm trying to think what surprised me. Probably that he was able to miraculously land that plane in that lake. That was pretty good maneuvering or luck, I would say, since he doesn't know how to fly, that he managed to land that plane in a soft enough location that he lived through it and was able to swim to shore. You think? What would you have done?
Panic.
Yeah, me too. Talk about major adrenaline. Remember we were talking about adrenaline earlier? I think, yeah, I would have had a major panic attack.
4. What other books have you read that are similar to this book or movie? How are they similar?
You think of any books that you've read that are similar to Hatchet?
Kind of the movie and like a series, Naked and Afraid, but they didn't crash. They're just out in the wilderness for 20 days.
You're absolutely right. And what do they get to do in Naked and Afraid?
They have to make shelter. They're out there with no clothes.
Right, but they get to take
one thing.
Yep, one thing. That's right.
And after 20 days, they had to go to this one certain place.
Mm-hmm.
But also, some people get sick.
Yeah, that's true. And why do they get sick?
Because snake bites, spider bites.
Yeah, or
not eating or drinking.
That's what I was thinking about, because that's kind of similar to our character, right? What did he do when he got thirsty?
Puked.
Well, first, before he puked, what did he do?
Well, he got sick.
Before he puked, though, he drank the water out of the lake, right? Brian he was thirsty and went and drank. But he doesn't know why he got sick, right? It could either be the lake water, or it could be that he just drank so much, maybe. He doesn't know, does he? But that's very similar. You're right. Naked and Afraid show and what Brian's going through. What would you say Brian's one item is that he has with him?
Hatchet.
He has a hatchet, yeah.
I remember on one of the Naked and Afraid shows, this one person brought duct tape.
Are you serious? Duct tape? Did it help him? Yeah, I wouldn't think that would be a good
He
choice.
tried to make a house, but it fell apart.
Yeah, I would think so. Too funny. Is it my turn to roll?
Mhm.
Did we already do 2?
Mhm.
5. What is the big picture? What do you think the author wanted us to learn from reading and listening to the story? Would you say the big picture is so far?
If you get in a plane crash, you should. This book tells you what you need to do, like kind of.
Kind of. Okay.
You just use the stuff that you have on you, and that's the only thing I got.
Yeah? Well, I'm sitting there thinking about the teacher. You know, he kept referencing that teacher. What did the teacher tell him?
I have no idea.
You don't remember that part about his teacher? He kept saying, Mr. Perpich. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. He kept talking about, you got to stay what? Confident and motivated. I was trying to find, he would say, stay positive, stay on top of things. Brian thought of him now and wondered how to stay positive and stay on top of things. You got to stay motivated. And he kept telling him how he was his greatest asset. So what does that mean? I guess what would happen if Brian just sits there at the bottom of the tree and gives up? What's going to happen? Probably.
He's gonna die.
Yeah.
But if he did that, I would just hurry up the thing and just get out the hatchet.
You think so? You would take it? Nice. Thank you. Leave poor Brian there to die.
No.
Or if you were him.
I would just take out the hatchet and hurry up the process.
Oh, that's horrible, Cutter. No. So we know if he just sits there, he's going to end up dying. So he has to get up and do what?
Do stuff.
Yeah, take care of himself, right? And that's why he keeps saying, I have to stay motivated. I'm the biggest asset. I have to stay focused, right? You want to roll?
6. What do you want to say about this book that hasn't been
mentioned
yet?
So what do you want to say that hasn't been mentioned yet? That's a good question.
What's he gonna do to get out of the forest?
What's he gonna do to get out of the forest? I'm kind of wondering,
What I would do to get out of the forest is just want to make a forest fire.
Trying to make a forest fire? And why does Brian think he can't make a fire?
Because he made matches.
He doesn't have any matches, yeah. So he's not thinking about other ways that he could make a fire, is he? I'm kind of wondering, do you think his parents have missed him yet? Do you think they realize that his plane has crashed? He's already been there a whole night and almost a whole day.
Well, one of my teachers, Miss Blue, told us, or rather Miss Taylor or Miss Blue, told us that he gets out of there, but no one comes to save him. He gets out of there using his hatchet.
Oh, but you haven't read this story, right?
No, but Miss Blue or Miss Taylor told us.
Those teachers. How do you think he's feeling?
Scared.
Scared to death, yeah. Do you think he's going to get out?
No.
No, you don't? Yeah, I'm not sure. It's not looking good, is it? What do you think he's got to get up and do now?
If I was him, I would walk one way, and if anything came his way,
just pick a direction and start walking straight that direction. And why do you think that would work? What's bound to happen?
You're gonna hit a street.
Yeah, something. Maybe hopefully a town or a village. They're in Canada.
Or farm.
Or a farm, yeah. Somehow meet up. But you're right. That's a good plan. I wonder if he'll think to get up and do that.
Fence.
Yeah, maybe. And then walk the fence line. Did someone teach you that? I've heard that before. If you're ever lost in a wooded area, if you find a fence, you should walk the fence line because eventually it'll.
We went walking around our place since it's so big.
Mm-hmm.
We found like a little wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like made of rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a little wall, and it didn't go anywhere. It just...
Oh, really? Very interesting. Very good. Let's see. Oh, have we not answered one of them?
We hadn't answered one.
One? You want to read it?
I want to roll and see if I get it.
Oh, okay. We'll roll until you get one so we can do number one. Oh, it was landing on one and I hit it. It was one. Oh, there it is. Yes.
Identify something that you still wonder about from the story. Why do you wonder about that?
It's kind of close to one of the other ones we read, it seems like.
How come he realized he had a hatchet and after he didn't realize he had a hatchet until the next day?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that he needed it. He was so sick and tired by the time he got up to the thing. Yeah, I'm still stuck on him wondering if his parents are missing him yet. Because as a mom, that would be pretty scary to not know where your child was. And to think they had been in a plane. Because what happens to a plane? Everything that goes up must come
down.
That'd be very scary.
But on the moon, if you go up, you might not come down.
Well, on the planet Earth, and with our gravity, if it goes up, it must come down.
Well, a spaceship, if it goes up,
it still comes down eventually.
When? 5 years from the later?
I guess after they force it to come down.
But in space, there is no up or down or sideways.
Yeah, because there's no gravity. You just float. Yeah. Would you change anything about the story that we've read?
No.
No? Do you think you've learned anything from the story that we're reading?
Yes. If you're gonna be in a crash, you better be prepared.
So you think if you had to fly somewhere to see your dad, you would prepare yourself better?
I would get an air horn or megaphone.
An air horn and a megaphone? Is that what you would take with you on the plane?
Yes, because if you crash
so
and
wait,
you're out in the wilderness...
Let's pretend this is Light, Naked, and Afraid, and you only get to take one thing. What would you take?
An air horn.
An air horn.
Or a megaphone.
But what if he's so far in the forest that nobody can hear that?
Well, if it's an air horn, those are loud. It fills up the whole house. A megaphone, it's the same thing, but if you use both, it's gonna...
Okay.
In The Simpsons, I saw Bart do that, and it broke the windows.
Do what?
The Simpsons.
Oh, on The Simpsons. Oh, goodness. You're funny.